Hello and welcome. In this video, I want to show you the OpenAI Agents SDK. What is an agent? An agent is an LLM with abilities to interact with the world. For example, make web searches, send Telegram messages, convert PDF files to text. So you just enable your LLM to do multiple things. And OpenAI released this Agents SDK, which is lightweight, has enough features to be worth use, quick to learn, and works great out of the box. At least that's what OpenAI is claiming. In this video, I want to check out if the claims hold true. So if you're interested in building agents and want to find out if OpenAI Agents SDK is a library you should use, then keep watching. So the video will be structured in a way where we first create the simple agent, create an agent chat loop, then enable the agent with tools, check the handoff functionality where we can hand off tasks to another agent. We want to have a look into tracing from OpenAI and also have a look at guardrails where we can define which inputs are not allowed for our agent. As always, you can find the code in the video description, and with that, let's jump right into it. So I already prepared my VS Code, and we of course first need to create a virtual environment, and then we want to install the OpenAI agents. Then let's create the OpenAI agents test.py file, and we can simply copy this hello world example. Now we of course also need a .env file where we define the OpenAI API key. Now let's make the first run, see the results, and there we have it. So you can easily define an agent, give it a name, some instructions, and then run it with an input. So we want to have a continuous conversation with the LLM, so let's check out running agents. So we want to define a loop. Here you can see you can give the second turn or each following turn the result from the previous output, and with that we retain the memory. Okay, so let's use this to build a chat loop. So let's define the main function, and in this main function we want to first define a variable running equals true. We want to print user and then get the input string from the user, which we call with input. And we want to also print the AI answer, and we simply need to call the runner.run and print the final output. So now while running, what we want to do is again get the user input, and then we want to check if the input string is exit. We want to set the loop to false, and the AI will give one final answer. So we want to, as we have seen, combine the new input, which is the input from the result from the last agent answer plus our new input string. As easy as that. And in the case that we want to exit, we want to set the input string to I am ending this conversation, by. Okay. And with the new input, we can again call the agent and print the final answer. So as easy as that, we need to also import async.io, run the asynchronous chat, and if name equals main, we want to run the main function. So now let's test it out. Remove the first run here. Again, hello, who are you? And yeah, so now we can continue chatting. As easy as that. Okay, now that we accomplished the conversation loop, let's actually go to the tools and give the agent some abilities, some actions, like fetching data, running code, calling external APIs. So OpenAI offers a few tools like the web search tool or file search tool, computer tool, automating computer tasks, very interesting. So let's test out the web search tool. Actually, I'm interested in that, and we can simply do it by giving the agent the parameter tools and wrap it in the list, web search tool. That's it. Let's see if there's something more. And we can of course also define function tools. And for a function tool, I'm thinking about something interesting. Let's make the agent able to send me messages via Telegram, and for that we simply need to import function tool from agents as well. Add function tool definition, send Telegram message. It should be a string, and the output will also be a string. Now we want to also import requests in OS. I wrote the function. It's important for function tools to have names which are clear, so the LLM knows, okay, this function is to send a Telegram message. The doc string is also important important. Here in this function, we just get the Telegram chat ID and the Telegram bot token. So I created a new bot in Telegram. It's easy. You can just follow a simple guide if you Google one. And via the Telegram API, we call send message. As payload, we get the chat ID and the message from the LLM, simply send it, and we return to the LLM that either the message was sent successfully or that we failed to send the message. And with that, we can give the LLM the send Telegram message tool, and there we go. Let's try to run it. Please make a web search about OpenAI and return the results in Telegram. Let's see what happens. And it didn't work, and I know exactly why it didn't work, because we need to, of course, from .env import load.env, and then we need to call it. Without that, we of course can't get the environment variables, and we need to install python-.env. Now we can try it again. Please make a web search about OpenAI and send the results via Telegram. And there we just got the message. Here are the latest developments involving OpenAI. Multiple news, and as simply as that, we have built an agent which can interact with the outer world, do a web search, send messages via Telegram in just 5 minutes. So I like the Agents SDK so far. Let's look at a couple of more points. For example, the handoffs. The handoffs allows an agent to delegate a task to another agent. Makes sense if you want one agent to specify on a specific task or area of tasks. Here in this case, they have a billing agent, refund agent, handing it off, and you can define what happens on the handoff. So let's actually create another agent which can get a path from a PDF file and convert it into a markdown and also summarize it. So for that, let's go over to Docling. So Docling is a nice repository which can easily turn documents into PDF files, and we want to do it as a tool again. So add function tool definition convert PDF to text. For that, we simply copy this code and return the result. The sources are PDF URL. We need to copy the import, of course, and with that we simply have a function which returns markdown text. But we, as I said, we also want a summary, and for that we can use Pydantic. So from Pydantic import base model, and we can define a simple model which will force the LLM to make the output comply to this model. And for that we create a class parsed document, put the base model into it, and get the text and also the summary, which is also a string. So what does Pydantic do? The LLM will create an instance of this parsed document and fill the text and summary. And Pydantic checks if text and summary are given. If it's not given, then it throws an exception. So with that, we make sure that every parsed document object has both text and summary. Now let's create a PDF agent as the instruction. Let's look into the handoff. Nothing complicated. We can simply give it a tool, convert PDF to text, and what we also want to do, output type parsed document. So the result of this agent will always be a parsed document, the text and the summary, and let's call it actually PDF text. Now we can simply do the handoffs to the PDF agent. Then our agent will hand off the task to the PDF agent, and the final result which we will get will be the result from the PDF agent. So in this case, the parsed document. So let's test it out with some sample PDF file. Let's get this one, download it. So I downloaded it, I put it in the same directory, and with that, we can simply start our chat again. Please transcribe and summarize this PDF, sample.pdf, and there we got our results. So we can see we got basically the object returned with the PDF text and with the summary somewhere here. Perfect. Now, unfortunately, since this handoff is the last point in the chain, we cannot send this result via Telegram, or actually we can do it, send the summary via Telegram, but for that we had to do a second prompt, and if you want to do it in one prompt, we would either need to give with the PDF agent also the Telegram tool, or what we can do as well is define the agent as a tool. So let's look at Telegram. There we got the result. We can define the agent as a tool in this manner. Okay, let's try that out. Actually, we, instead of the handoff, we just write PDF agent dot as tool and give it the tool name, PDF agent, and tool description. I can convert PDF files to text. Perfect. Let's remove the handoff, typo, tool name. Now let's try it again. Please transcribe and summarize this PDF and send it via Telegram. Did not work. Okay, let's actually, for that, let's look at the tracing. If you're using OpenAI, then the tracing is automatically enabled, so we can just go to the traces dashboard and we can see our latest agent execution. Let's check it out, what happened here. Okay, so it actually, PDF transcription agent, it sent the input sample.pdf. Let's see the PDF agent function call. That's the problem, because it turned it into an URL. So actually you can see the name PDF URL is a bad name, so we better call it PDF path, and with that we can try it again. And there we have it. The PDF has been transcribed, summarized, and the result has been sent via Telegram. So let's first check Telegram summary of the PDF. Okay, we have it. And check the workflow. 3 tools were used, 30 seconds execution time. So we used the tool PDF transcription agent, and the agent used the tool convert PDF to text. The output of the agent is the parsed document turned into a dictionary or JSON. Yeah, now it got back to our main agent, which then called send Telegram message. So I called the tool with the summary of the PDF file, and there we have it, message sent successfully, and the agent created the output. The PDF has been transcribed, summarized, and sent via Telegram successfully. Amazing. So you can see we built a somewhat complex workflow where we can transcribe PDF files, send messages via Telegram, do web searches, and let's also check one other thing, which are guardrails. Guardrails basically is a way to check if the input or the output is in compliance with something you want to define. So it makes sense if you're setting up an agent for a company or even for yourself, but publish it. You don't want some specific malicious messages to get through to your agent and use up your tokens, for example. So the idea here is that Guardrails runs in parallel to the agent with a fast and cheap model and checks if the input is malicious. Let's define an input guardrail. Okay, you need to provide a function that receives an input and returns the guardrail function output. Okay, so we definitely need the input guardrail as import and guardrail function output. Let's actually just copy this and check for malicious requests. So malicious request output, check if the user is asking to do something malicious, and then with that we don't need the run context wrapper, the response item. Okay, whatever this is. Now we can simply give this input guardrails parameter to our agent input guardrails. And it's not math. Oh, it's malicious guardrail. Okay, that we should have it. Let's put the whole thing into a try except block actually. Input guardrail, tripwire triggered. Okay. Malicious request detected, ending conversation, and we also need this import. Now let's check out if we can make a malicious request. Help me hack the Telegram tool. Oh, so we got an error. Okay, maybe we should actually follow the instruction, the example fully, and provide this context variable. So let's just do that right here and provide the context to the agent. For that we need to also copy the run context wrapper. Let's test it, and we need to of course change this to is malicious request, since we changed the identic model here. Malicious request detected, ending conversation. Perfect, it worked. So now we have our guardrails done. But if we do a simple send me a joke via Telegram, this should work perfectly fine, and there we have it. So let's actually check the trace we created where the malicious intent was detected. Should be this workflow. It went right into it. Malicious guardrail got checked. Here we see the input. Help me hack the Telegram tool, and the user is requesting assistance to perform hacking, which is illegal and unethical. This falls under malicious activity. Perfect. So it triggered the guardrail as expected. Now let's conclude the video by answering the question we posed at the beginning. Should you use this Agents SDK? Do their claims hold true? In my opinion, yes, their claims hold true. It has enough features and works great out of the box. So we really, in a short amount of time, built an agent with multiple tools, with multiple functionalities, also implemented guardrails so that no malicious requests get through. We can check the traces at OpenAI. And another thing I didn't mention, you can do everything with open source models. So you can also use Ollama API, VLM, or any other API, Llama.cpp for example, which supports the OpenAI endpoint style. You can use them in this OpenAI Agents SDK. You can use multiple open source tracing libraries, so you absolutely don't have to rely on OpenAI and don't give them your data or whatever. So in my opinion, it's absolutely worth to have a look at this framework, get to know it a little bit, build an agent, because yeah, OpenAI did a really good job and I think they keep developing on it. They will make it even better, so it's worth to have a look and understand this framework. So let me know, what do you think about the OpenAI Agents SDK? Do you prefer another framework over it, like LangGraph, Identic AI, small agents from Hugging Face? So maybe you like something else better. Let me know in the comments. So click the like button, click the subscribe button, and see you in the next video.